And so then they said, I want to be Michael Myers. I love Michael Myers from Halloween. And they call him the Boogeyman, and like the first installment of it, if you remember. So Doug come home to tell me, I said, what monster am I? And he says, well, you're going to be the Boogeyman. I went, the Boogeyman? I thought Jimmy Valiant was the first thing I thought. I said, who? Jimmy Valiant or what? He says, no, that guy from Halloween. I said, Michael Myers, all right. I love that mask, that plain white mask with the hair and wearing the Jason-looking stuff and walking. So I was looking forward to it. I was going to Japan with Doug for 2 weeks and having fun and getting away. And so I really love Japan. I love going over there. So being with Doug was a lot of fun too. It was our first tour together out of the country. And we got over there and just the first week I could tell Doug was, the Freddy Krueger gimmick was like I guess the top heel gimmick there. And Doug had worked real hard. He took some dives off some balconies over there. And he doesn't get credit for a lot of things. I think it's kind of bad. I think, Doug gets overshadowed a lot of times. And I don't really appreciate that or like that either. And I wish a lot of people look at what he does sometimes as who he is and for what he is instead of keep me out of anything. But Doug, as a Dark Patriot, did a good job, I think. And so with Freddy Krueger, he dove off balconies, he'd done gimmick matches, he'd done fire, he'd done everything. So you could see that when Freddy Krueger went to the ring, the people were loving him, even though they're scared of him. So they had a big nail death match coming up, I think, between Freddy Krueger and someone. Yeah, I think it's who it was. No, it was against the Leatherface, my part. Against Leather. Eventually, it was going to be in January. They were working up to it, and then they was going to do something. But Doug didn't know what the finish was coming. So Doug had his own little politic thing going, and he had been there a whole year. And a lot of people don't look at that. Doug had been there a whole year, and then all of a sudden I came in for a tour, which is coincidental. Seriously. And I was there, and a lot of power plays got to being done. I remember one night, I do like to rib, I like to joke, and I do things. So if a promoter comes to me and tells me, like, make sure you don't give this gesture in the ring, well, the first thing I do when I get in the ring is give this gesture. So, I mean, that's the way I've always been, but a lot of people know that. And so I have fun with that. If someone tells me don't grab the microphone, Eddie, well, a lot of times I'll grab the microphone and just send go, and I don't say anything sometimes, I just do it to watch promoters melt back there, and it's fun. I just have a lot of fun with everybody. I took a fire extinguisher one night in Japan and went outside. I was the Boogeyman. I was Michael Myers walking around the floor when they introduced us for the little celebration deal before the matches. And I go out there and take a fire extinguisher off the wall and turn it on, and all the fans go running. There's white stuff all over the building. And the promoter, that Ibaragi guy, and Victor Quinones, Ibaragi, though, he wasn't too happy at all. I saw this bad look on his face. He was mad at me. I thought, the hell with it. We're over here having fun anyway. So I get back to the dressing room, and Doug comes over to me and says, you won't believe this promoter. I said, what? He says, he wants to take $150 out of each of our payoff for this deal you just did with that. I'm thinking, why do it to Doug? I'm the one that did it. Why do it to Doug? And in the meantime, you got to understand the history. I think Dave Meltzer brought this up in his little remarks about it, which was great. I'm glad he did because no one else said it. Mike Kirshner had been the Leatherface over there, and then he got in some trouble protecting someone else, Mike Anthony, who was wrestling over for Wing at the time, protecting them in a fight with a bunch of marks out in the city of Tokyo. Got put in jail for like a few months, was back in Florida. This guy, Jason the Terrible, who came into Wrestling Wing at the same night that all this I'm fixing to get to came up, this Jason the Terrible was being brought back. In the meantime, Jason the Terrible had got Mike Kirshner's Leatherface gimmick out of his Ibaragi's house, his promoter. Jason the Terrible went into his house when Mike Kirshner was flown back to Florida, got this, allegedly got this, I know for a fact he did, but allegedly got this outfit, and he sold it to these Japanese people that resell stuff. Like sold it for $800. It probably wouldn't worth $200. But when all the boys found out about it, they just hated this guy. I mean, when all the Wing boys came to me and they said, this Jason the Terrible's coming back here next week, talking about week number 2 on our tour, and we don't understand, he's a thief. And so we came up to our night, this night that all this happened, this tag match. It was myself and Leatherface against Freddy Krueger and the Tales from the Crypt thing. This monster deal. I can't remember the other thing, but you should watch Tales from the Crypt. Crypt Keeper, yes. Crypt Keeper. So Freddy Krueger's partner. And also this night, Jason the Terrible is his first night back in. his partner is a good Japanese guy there, and I can't remember his name, but he's one of the best ones to us. And I called him Jackie Fargo while I was there because he just reminded me of Jackie Fargo, and I said that to him, and we had a good relationship, good rapport and everything. And this guy and Jason the Terrible were booked against the Moondogs, and Doug had got the Moondogs booked on the tour with us. And it was a real personal thing to Doug because Mike Kirshner was real close to Doug, and they got to be close friends while they were over there, looked out for each other's back. Doug had told me all this stuff. Jason the Terrible was coming back in, who had no business being there. None of the guys liked him. So Doug said, 2 days before this, said, I'll tell you right now, if they have Jason the Terrible to beat the Moondogs, I'll tell them I'll go out there and you'll beat me, and I'll take my mask off and screw them. And this promotion, if that's what they think of someone that's sweated and worked hard for them like Mike Kirshner did. And I said, well, Doug, you just do what you want to do. This is your deal. And I am not going to be part of it. I don't want to have anybody saying that Eddie went over there and did this. And that's exactly what wound up happening. But that night of the show, Jason the Terrible comes in the dressing room, shakes hands with everybody, leaves the room. I'm going, man, I sure hope they don't do what, because I know Doug, and he's already said for a fact that if they do this, he's had it. So we wait for them to get the Moondogs and Jason and them together. Moondogs come back in, tell Doug what's going on in the match. Jason the Terribles will win the thing. Doug went ballistic. He said, where's the Ibaragi at? And so Doug got up. He went to Ibaragi, told him the whole thing. He said, well, I don't know why a piece of shit Jason the Terrible come back here and you treat him like you do. And I was there. I heard the conversation, so did the Moondogs. And this Ibaragi had no answer at all. So things are fixed now or something. Doug said, maybe with y'all, but not with me. And Doug says, if he wins, they could have had the Jackie Fargo guy win, is what I'm trying to say here, too. If Jason the Terrible wins the tag match, I'm going out there and pulling my mask off. Ibaragi just kind of laughed at him. Yeah, I know you won't. And I thought, oh, man, don't say that. And the guy left, and Doug looked at me and said, you know what to do? And I went, and the last thing I said to Doug in the hallway before we went out, I was going to my right, Doug was going to my left to go out his way. And I said, are you sure this is what you want to do? And he said, yes. And I said, well, I'm with you then. Because we don't do things separate, and there's loyalty both ways. We're family, and we always stay there somehow. So when I saw him, when he came in the ring, and then I grabbed him, and I went for what was it first? I think we went for a small package first, or sunset, one or the other. Sunset flip. I think sunset flip first. The referee wouldn't go down for the count. I think that they had already told him that if Freddy Krueger goes to get beat, don't go down for the count. And he got up and went towards Leatherface and Crypt Keeper outside the ring. And all the boys knew what was happening just about. And the referee didn't go down for the first time. We came right up, and Doug's cussing. I always laugh now. I tell the stories of Doug cussing while he's going backwards. Count me this time or whatever, and because he was so mad. And I think the next time I small packaged him, but it was one or the other first and the other second. And the 1, 2, 3 came, and Doug come up, and they started playing music, and Freddy Krueger had never been beat, and then all of a sudden we beat him in the deal. Doug had done it for me for no reason. The first tour I'd been there, Boogie Man, big deal. Doug gets up and says, stop the music. He's got his Freddy Krueger mask on, and he goes through the story that it was a shit promotion and shit promoter, and that they don't treat the boys good, and he takes his mask off, and he says, my name's Doug Gilbert. And when I saw him do that, it was like this feeling like, wow. Like Bruiser Brody could be here to see this. I think he'd have to say God bless y'all, or God bless Doug at this point in time, because Doug, you don't ever see anybody in the business anymore. What I was talking about a while ago, that people don't stick up for each other. There's no loyalty to anybody. When I stood back and watched Doug be loyal to Mike Kirshner and to the Moondogs for getting them booked over on the tour the way he did, and I thought, man, that's great to see that. And so that's what made me reach up and take my mask off. And I looked at him, and he said, that's my brother, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, and then the people were just stunned, and that's fine. That's what we meant to do. And we got outside the ring, and then we high-fived and left the ring together and got back to back. I still had never said a word about anything. I just went in the dressing room. I told Victor Quinones he just shot himself in the head, though. And he said, what do you mean? I said, well, you could have changed this. This could have been detoured, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. They could have had the other babyface go over in the tag match with the Moondogs. You don't do your business that way and handle it that way. And after it was over with, they wanted comments from us, and I told Doug, I said, this is your baby, I'm standing with you. I stood behind Doug on the tape with my hand on his shoulder. He did the talking. He told him again why he did it, and we left. We left the next morning. But it was Doug's decision. I stood by him, and the last thing I told